Hello beautiful people, Yasmin here. Welcome to Juliet Kitchen. Today you're in for a fantastic treat, as I always say. I am sharing with you the recipe for these beautiful savory rolls, if you will. They're savory because I have cheese in it, Asiago cheese, freshly grated, and then it's sweetened with a little bit of honey, so it's slightly enriched. It's a heavier, it's still warm. It's a heavier type of roll, and I like to serve these with burgers, but you could serve them any way you want. Butter, piece of cheese, whatever your heart desire. So stick around long enough and I'll show you how to make these beautiful and simple rolls. Don't be shy, hit the subscribe button. Get printable recipes on our food blog. Okay, beautiful people, I have all of my ingredients ready for the bread. All-purpose flour just works perfectly. So let me show you how I pull this dough together. It's very quick and easy. I'm going to add all of my ingredients into the bowl. Milk powder. Milk powder enriches the dough, and I'm using a whole dried milk powder. Sea salt, or you could use kosher. Instant yeast, which is my favorite. The instant yeast versus the active yeast makes a big difference. You save a little bit of time because with the active yeast, you usually have to ferment it in some warm water. I like to make it simple and save that step, so I use instant yeast. I'm using a scraper just to mix it together. You could use a spatula, of course. Just give it a quick mix. Okay, I'm gonna make a well here in the center. What else do I have here? This is a honey water. You can use sugar for sure, but I like to use honey in my recipes whenever I can. This is honey that I've diluted in the water because it works better when you're able to incorporate it to the flour more easily. Okay, and I'm really just going to start the process by bringing the flour and the water together. You could rotate the bowl, makes it easier. Just keep kneading, if you will, with the scraper until a dough forms. Take a couple of minutes. The dough is going to feel a little dry, but that's okay. I'm going to start using my hand to get it more incorporated. I'm actually going to be adding butter to this recipe once this dough comes together quite nicely. The butter is going to help to soften it. Okay, that's good enough. Okay, so the dough feels pretty dry, but once I get this butter into it, the softened butter, it's going to begin to get more moist. Push the butter in. Still feels a bit stiff right now. You could certainly put it in a KitchenAid mixer, but I think this dough is so easy, it works best by hand. Just keep kneading it until the butter is well incorporated and you have a soft dough. The dough is going to feel as if it's coming apart, but that's okay. Don't worry, it's going to become pretty smooth. Starting to get soft. I'm actually going to transfer it now to my workspace. You really don't need to add any more flour to this work surface. It's coming together beautifully. Just keep kneading until it becomes nice and smooth. Wow, it's feeling really good. See that? It's starting to not stick to the work surface. That's what you really want. I'm going to be adding freshly grated Asiago cheese. Okay, that's about 2 minutes that I've been kneading it for. So now I'm going to start adding my cheese. Would certainly use freshly grated Parmesan. I want to add the cheese in batches because if you add it all at once, the cheese is only going to be in certain parts of the dough. Flatten it. So it's about a 1/4 cup of cheese or so at a time. You want to make sure the cheese is fully incorporated each time before adding another batch. Flatten, and I'm going to add the remaining cheese. And then knead it a little bit longer. See how beautiful, it's not sticking to the mat anymore, and you want that cheese to be fully incorporated. The dough is soft, but it has a slight stiffness to it. It's going to have a heavier texture once it's all baked. How beautiful does that look? Make a ball like that. How beautiful does this look? I'm going to add it right back to the same bowl. I like to cover with plastic wrap. I'm going to let this sit for about 30 minutes or so. Okay, beautiful people, the dough has been sitting for just about 30 minutes, so it's ready for the next step. I actually have a sheet pan lined with parchment paper, so as I form the dough balls, I am going to add them to the sheet pan and then allow them to rest again for probably another 30 minutes or so. So let's take a look at this amazing, beautiful baby. Look at that. Okay, I'm going to remove it. You could tell it has air in it. I'm just going to give it a quick knead to take out the air pockets. Cut it in two. I'm going to stretch it out into a log, and I'm going to divide this in three. Eyeball. You could certainly weigh it. Okay, and now what I want to do is make rounds. So to do the rounds, I'm going to stretch. Pull in, and then pull in the two sides, and then I'm going to just roll it under itself like this, and then give it a roll to seal. If your hands are small like mine, you could use both. You want to get that seal on the bottom. Let's take a look. And you want to roll it enough so that it doesn't break. See how nice and smooth that look? Look at this. Continue shaping the dough, and as you make the rounds, add them to the sheet pan lined with parchment paper. Just make sure you keep the seam on the bottom. You want to make sure you keep that seam on the bottom. See that? Once I finish shaping these rolls, I will be egg washing it using one egg, and I want to egg wash it twice. Okay, the rolls are ready for egg washing. To make the egg wash, a simple way to do it is add your egg to a bowl, cover it with a tight cover. You could certainly use a fork or a spoon to beat the egg, or a whisk, but all you really need to do is add it to the bowl, cover, and shake vigorously. This is a trick I learned in bread baking classes. A couple of good seconds, and there you go. You have a beautiful, beautiful egg wash. Okay, now I'm going to do a little egg wash. After this egg wash, I will allow the dough to sit for 30 minutes covered, and then I will egg wash it again before baking. The oven is being preheated at 375 degrees, and this should be ready in about 30 minutes or so. Okay, beautiful people, the dough should be ready. Look at that, how beautiful does it look? I am just going to give it another egg wash and then get it into the oven. Okay, into the oven. Okay, beautiful people, if you could only smell, the bread is amazing. It's just about to come out of the oven, so I'm going to go take a look now. How beautiful do these rolls look? A great way to check if the rolls are finished is tap it. Yep, it's nice and hollow. Can you hear that? Woo, they're hot. Oh, beautiful people, look at these amazing rolls. Beautiful color, it smells delicious. I'm going to allow it to cool on this wire rack. I can't wait to eat these. Okay, beautiful people, you all know what time it is, right? My favorite time, which is tasting. I'm actually not going to put any butter on it. I'm just going to bite a piece. I am serving this with my chicken burger. It's perfectly cooked. It's dense. A little bit of sweetness, and you could taste that savory Asiago cheese. Just perfect. So I do hope you'll make this recipe and enjoy it as much as we do around here. Don't be shy, hit the subscribe button. Until next time, happy cooking!